Hello, guests, and welcome back to Jeopardy! This is the categories left up on the board. Zoe, what do you choose? Oh my god, I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this moment. Let's do, Greta Van Fleet for 400.
And that's the Daily Double.
Okay. I'll wager everything.
Question is, this Greta Van Fleet song from their latest album is their shortest song on their discography.
What is Runaway Blues? Ooh, I'm sorry, the correct answer would be Runway Blues, not Runaway Blues.
And that's it for Jeopardy, guys. Stay tuned for more soon.
Peaceful Army.
Peaceful Army.
Welcome to the podcast of the Peaceful Army.
What? Really?
And I'm not sorry.
What does it mean?
Oh my god!
Greta's gonna wreck my shit.
Yes, I'm obsessed with Greta Van Fleet, and what do you care?
I think I'll make this my entire identity.
That was not very Peaceful Army of you. If you don't like it, you can fuck off!
Alright, now that that's over. Little birdie told me you want to get into Greta Van Fleet. Or maybe you're already here, and maybe you just didn't know what you think you knew. You know? So anyways, I'm here to help you. That was weird. Anyways, this video is going to be what we would call a video essay about Greta Van Fleet. In my own words, in my own research, I've made this for my own friends who have wanted to get into Greta Van Fleet. So now I'm giving it to you. So you can send this along to your friends and you don't even have to do any explaining. I know, I'm so helpful, right? You guys just love me, don't you? So guys, here are the topics for today. If you already know one thing and you'd like to skip around, I will be putting channel markers down here so you can slide along to anything you want. But the main things that we're going over today are the members. Some fun facts about them, who they are, why do you care? And then we got their lanes, and we'll explain what lanes mean. If you're like, what the heck is a lane? Don't worry, you'll learn. And then we'll get into the start of Greta Van Fleet, how it all happened to be, and then we'll do albums and history behind all of it. So like kind of like a big timeline. We'll just be like coasting down the timeline of Greta Van Fleet. Then, very important, the lingo. If you're not in the fandom, the lingo is like you got to be in on the lingo because the lingo's the best part. It's the most fun. You'll see. And then I'm going to do a quick little outfit part where I'm just going to tell you some of the favorite outfits that the fandom has and some of my own personal favorites because why not? Because I can actually, because I kind of run most of this podcast, so duh. Anyways, shall we get into it? You want to learn? I mean, you're here, right? So might as well just stay for the whole thing. All right. Now we get the members. These four little quirky white boys are from Michigan. All right. They all grew up in the same town. And they all got their special little quirks, their special little things. So we're going to go over it so you can get a full idea of who these men are and why they're so important to us. Duh. So we're going to be going in age order because that just felt the most appropriate because I want to. And that's how I made the presentation. So yeah. First up is Joshua M. M stands for Michael Kiszka, or Josh, as most of us call him. Josh is the lead singer of Greta Van Fleet. He is everything. No further questions. Josh is twins with another member, Jake. They're twins, 5 minutes apart, and Josh is the oldest. So, their birthday is April 23rd of 1996. They are millennials. Womp. Anyways, I can't say that. Lindsay's basically a millennial, so I can't be mean to her. Love you, babes. So Josh, let me tell you a little bit about Josh. So obviously, like I said, he's the lead singer of Greta Van Fleet. He's known for his very powerful, loud voice. He's known for jumping and dancing around on stage. You'll see him just like, yeah, that's Josh. That's him. And being mysterious and sometimes incomprehensible. Yeah, if you don't look up the lyrics for some of the songs, you might just have to make up your own. Another amazing thing about Josh is that back in June of 2023, he came out as part of the LGBTQ community. He had hid, listen. He hid for 8 years a relationship. I can't even hold a secret for like more than a week. I buy somebody a present and I'm like, oh my God, I have to tell you what it is now. 8 years? That's like a third of my life. That's crazy. Good for him. God, I wish I could keep a secret like that. Anyways, we love Josh for that. And if you don't love Josh for that, there's the door. You can go that way if you don't love it. Okay. Josh is just a very spiritual and insightful individual. He gets it. I don't know what to say other than that. Another fun fact about him is he's very into the crowd work. He loves taking shots with the crowd. He loves hopping on his security guard's back and like throwing out roses. Very slay. I love that for him. And he's just having a ball. He's trying to have the best time ever at his own shows, and I love that for him. He also has alter egos. Okay, quick rundown. We have El Fernanda. El Fernanda's a bit of a diva. She's just diva-ing. I don't know. She's having it her way, really. And then we have Dr. JMK. So, quick little rundown that will help explain everything about the boys. Back in, I believe, I want to say 2021, they came out with these masterclass videos where they each took on a different alter ego and made a masterclass, like a spoof. So Josh's was Dr. JMK, and it was a very spiritual fellow, a very odd spiritual fellow, and you guys should go watch all of them if you haven't already, because what are you doing? They're like 5 minutes. Go watch them. And then another alter ego of Josh is made by the fan base, and we call him Jonch. And this is usually when, like, you get a silly picture of Josh. It's Jonch. It's just how it is. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be silly. Sometimes he's just Jonch. It's fun. Anyways, let's move on. Now, for each of the boys, I'm going to break down their eras because I feel like this will really help you understand who they are, how they've evolved. So we're going to do quick rundowns of each of their eras, okay? First era I'm starting with Josh is Theater Kid Josh because I feel like this is where really like the star is born. This is where it all starts. He performed as both Willy Wonka and the cat from Cat in the Hat. He picked all the fun roles, that's for sure. So I'll put up pictures and you can enjoy that. Makes sense, doesn't it? Anyways, then we have what I would call like the becoming a star. Like the star is born, but now we're like really becoming into it. You know, we're getting into it. This era is usually like categorized by long curly hair. He's usually wearing like grandma's closet type of clothes. And I think they actually did get a lot of their clothes from their grandma's closet at that point, or their grandma had like brought them clothes and they would just like pick through them, which I love that. I wish my grandma would just drop off fun like 70s era clothes to me. Please. So that's Josh and his becoming a star. And then we have the frat boy Josh. I know this is a favorite for many people. This is kind of right around when they had signed to their record label. You could see this version of Josh in the Highway Tune music video. It's a good choice if it's your favorite. I'm not doubting you, but it's definitely like an off-brand of Josh, for sure. He has like shorter hair. He's wearing more like basic-y clothes, but he'll evolve a little more into what is I believe the actual fan favorite. The actual favorite is the fluffy Josh, as I categorize him. It's also baby girl Josh. It's just baby girl fluffy. He just looks adorable. He's got like curly hair all around. It's like a helmet of curls. It's very luscious. It's gorgeous. It's just very baby girl. You look at him and go, baby girl, You look so cute, baby girl. Yeah, that's this era of Josh. This is also part of the Red Rocks era, Josh. So if you go onto their YouTube, you can see their live performance at Red Rocks. And that's baby girl, that era right there. And then we have long curls, Josh. This is like during the beginning of the Dreams in Gold to mid Dreams in Gold. And it's like right before he gets into his next hairstyle, but the hair is just like real long. It's long. And he has like a little mustache and soul patch growing, and he's growing in his facial hair. He's starting to become a man. I dig it, but this next one's my personal favorite, and that is the Jollet. The Jollet is very important. Okay, this is Josh currently. This hairstyle, everything, it is, in my opinion, peak Josh. It's the perfect look for him. It's very unique. It keeps the curls, but it also, he has like his shape now to his head, and I love it. Those curls are just like reaching for the stars, which is where he belongs. So go off, Josh. Important things about Josh and like his traits and how you'll see him on social media. He has these rhinestone diaries, which is like in different tour locations. He'll just do like a little vlog, but he'll like really put it up for the cameras, really add on the drama. And they're really fun and usually quirky and have like a little skit or something involved in it. And they're cool. I like them. And then we have El Fernanda, who is his reoccurring alter ego / side character. El Fernanda is just iconic. You need to go watch El Fernanda on TikTok if you haven't already. So, all right. Now we're moving on to... now we're moving on to my favorite guys. Have you ever seen the clip of Brittany Broski talking about meeting Greta Van Fleet? And she walked up to Jake and said, "You're my favorite." And he said, "You have good taste." Let's just say I have good taste. Just kidding. Maybe I do. I don't know. So next we're going to talk about Jake is what I'm trying to get to here, guys. This is Jacob, a.k.a. Jake. T is for Thomas. Kiszka. That was a lot of words. Sorry. So Jacob and or Jake Thomas Kiszka. So he is the lead guitar for Greta Van Fleet. He's kind of just like this. He kind of just like slays. This Ken's job is guitar, and he does it well. So, like I said before, he is twins with Josh. So they share the same birthday, April 23rd. So make sure to wish him a happy birthday. It's coming up in like a month. All right, and let's get into who Jake is. I already told you he's the guitarist, but let's figure out some more about him. He has been the one that has been like, I guess, the driving force behind the band. He was the one that wanted to pursue music. There's actually a really cute interview with the Kiszka's mom, Karen, and she's talking about like how Jake wanted to pursue music, and Josh said that he would help him with his dream and that someday Jake will help Josh with his dream. Why would you tell me that? I'm gonna cry. That is the cutest thing ever. Don't tell me sad stuff like that. Oh my God. Anyways. Whew. I'm okay. Anyways, in 2021, he was voted top rock guitarist, and his solo Weight of Dreams was voted top rock guitar solo of 2022. And I believe that's from the Total Guitar magazine, if I remember correctly. Jake takes a lot of influence from blues and classical music. He is also often like known to be old man-like. Like he dresses kind of like a grandpa, but like in a cool rock star grandpa kind of way. And he also speaks like Latin and says like Oscar Wilde quotes. She's a very studious fellow. I don't know. Another important thing is Jake's guitar. Okay, it's this gorgeous red. I know there's probably a real name for the color. Okay, I'm saying red. Okay, I have a lot of information to remember. It's the color red, and I'm sure there's a different name for it. Okay, please. Anyways, he plays this Les Paul 61, which is what it was called before it was named the SG, and before it was the SG body, so it's fancy, I guess. It was the original. And he named it Beloved. Interesting, okay. Anyways, Jake's alter egos. All right. We have Oliver Reed, which is from the Masterclass. It's this like British guy, and he gets drunk, and it's kind of wild. It's one of my favorites, I think, out of all the Masterclasses because it's just absolutely bewildering. So go watch that. And then he's also Jacket, because on his Instagram it's Jake T. Kiszka, but it just looks like Jacket Kiszka. So call him Jacket. I don't know. It's fun. And then we have Jake's eras, his Eras Tour moment. We got some interesting eras here for Jake. I'd say the first few are like the biggest differences, and then as we get into the next three, it's slight changes. So first era that I want to talk about is emo Jake. It's just a classic era. He's got long Bieber-esque hair, and he's always like taking selfies or like being like stanced up. It's really quite like a tale of the time, right? Because I'm sure if many of you are my age or older, you knew a boy like this in middle school, and you loved his hair. Okay, it was like the coolest thing in the world when the guys could get the hair like that. So it was just how the times were. And if you're too young for that and you don't understand that was like a big thing. So go off, Jake. You nailed it. And then we have Jake's becoming a star phase. So this is like longer Bieber hair, and he's also wearing like funky outfits like Josh. So it's a very interesting stage. It's just like a step away from emo. Like a step away from emo. And then I don't know what it is about the baby girl era, guys. Like, any of their baby girl eras are just like, I think it's a peak for a lot of people because that was like between the Anthem of the Peaceful Army and Battle at Garden's Gate, like kind of leading into Battle at Garden's Gate. And that was like, that's a big thing for people. So, baby girl, I get it. Like, we'll get into it. All right. This is a favorite amongst fans. Jake's baby girl era is defined by his feminine yet masculine features. He's got this long hair, but he's like starting to kind of like also grow up and look like a man a little bit more. So it's just like perfect. He's like the perfect amount of soft, and that's what makes it baby girl. He's just very smiley. Wish he would smile more, but it's fine. Maybe he's trying to protect himself from wrinkles. Maybe I should smile less. I don't know. But yeah, this is a favorite. I love baby girl, but I love specifically more. I love all of them now. Like, they're killing it. Their style has gone from like to there. So, and then there's Euro Jake. Okay, let's get into this. This is a serious topic. So for some reason, when Jake went to Europe once, he grew out a mustache, and now like that's the thing where like if Jake goes to Europe, you hope that he grows a mustache. I don't know. And then I guess he comes home and shaves it off. I like the mustache. I think it works for him. I think it aged him a little bit more. Like, he went from like baby girl, but then when he had a mustache, it was like, oh, not baby girl. Nope, that's baby man. Anyways, he seems to be hanging on to the mustache this time, though. He's not in Europe, and he has it still. So, go you, Jake. Mustache. And then we have Jake's bob era. This was like at the mid of Dreams in Gold, where he like just cut it off and he has a bob. It's cute. I'm sure like after having that long of hair for a while, you'd want to like experience it shorter. Like, I know for me, I can't do the long hair. I'm living my long bob forever. So I get it, Jake. And then we have Starcatcher Jake, and he's just like really becoming a man now. Like, you can really see that like he's grown out of a lot of his like younger features. He's got this medium length hair. He's kind of growing it out from the bob. It's really long now. It's getting long again. So I'm excited for it. But yeah. Yep. All right. Important Jake traits and how you'll see him on the internet. He's hardly really ever on the internet these days. But when he's on the Greta Van Fleet account, he's usually just like standing in a corner playing the guitar, not saying anything. Okay. Another big thing about Jake is that he's always wearing Chelsea boots. If it's not Chelsea boots, it's low-rise Vans. And if he's not wearing either of those, somebody call for help because that's not Jake Kiszka, okay? He loves those Chelsea boots. And if you look at them, they're beat to shit. That's how much you can tell he loves those shoes. He loves those Chelsea boots. Go look at the picture of them. I think they're in Copenhagen in all the colorful chairs. Look at the bottoms of his shoes. There's another photo too where they're like out in a desert or something. And if you just look at the state of his Vans, they're like, boy, get them fixed. Get a new pair of shoes. Like, how are your toes? Just kidding. I don't care about your toes. Don't tell me about your toes. Anyways, Jake can also be known to be piratey. And he is. He is a pirate. I will be taking no further questions on that. That man is a pirate. Case closed. Yeah. He just is like an interesting fellow. He's very studious. He's like often like just very mysterious in pictures, like putting his hand out like this. Like he's just kind of doing his own thing, like trying to really give into like the rock star look and vibe, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Now we're moving on to Sam. So Sam is short for Samuel, but people call him Sam. They call him Sammy. Whatever. I don't know if he has a preference. Maybe just Sam. I don't know. But this is Sam Francis Kiszka. Sam is the bassist, and he's also the keys for Greta Van Fleet. His birthday is April 3rd of 1999. He is the baby of the group. I just realized I messed up my order. So I guess I'm going Kiszka's first and Wagner last. So it wasn't really all about age, but bear with me. Sam is 24 years old. He's like a year older than me, which is crazy. It's crazy to think about how old they are and that they're not that far off in age from me. Like, what am I doing with my life? I don't know. All right, so more information about Sam. Sam is here for a good time. He's the silly one of the group. I mean, they're all silly, but like he's like silly. Sam is silly. Sam. Yeah. Sam is also a big hater of pop music. That's a really big thing about him. Does not like pop music for some reason. I mean, I get it. It's algorithmic and boring, but whatever. He also produces music. He recently produced for his girlfriend Hannah Wickland on her album The Prize. Saw that in concert. It's a great show. Good album. Go listen to it. He's also known for liking tequila and having a puppy named Rose. If you don't follow Rose on Instagram, go follow Rose on Instagram because she's absolutely adorable. Adorable. The cutest dog ever. Sam, by the way, guys, he plays bass, right? And there was this big thing that happened on Instagram once where a fan called his guitar the wrong color, okay? So it's very important that we get it right, okay? It's surf green. It's a surf green bass. The color is important. Say it with me, surf green. Okay, cool. Sam's alter ego is Calabunga. He's a chef in the masterclass videos. That one's also a fun one. He's just chaotic. You could really see a silly side in there. So go check that out. Now, Sam's eras, okay? He had his Bieber era too. It seems like him and Jake and Danny all follow that very Bieber-esque hairstyle, okay? So you're going to see Danny in his Bieber era as well. But it's just classic for the 2010s. Again, you just had to be there. Every boy wanted Bieber hair. So, makes sense. And then baby girl Sam. Sam grows out his hair, but keeps a lot of his baby face features. He's still so young. He's just very soft. It's his baby girl. He's still, he's young. He's baby girl. So, yep, that's baby girl Sam. And then we have what I would categorize as F-boy Sam. He kind of like grows into his manhood a little more. Like he's still like got these soft babyish features, but like he looks more masculine, more like grown up now. And I guess the way he like just acted and behaved all cool. I don't know. That's what the Sam girls tell me. So that's that era of Sam. And I love this era of Sam, okay? The fuck ass Bob Sam, peak. Also, if you want to hear a fun story about fuck ass Bob Sam, you can go to episode 9 and hear my conversation with Matthew Daniel Siskin where he talks about when Sam cut his hair off. So that's a fun one. So yeah, Sam cut his hair off and just has this like really, really short, cute bob. He was having his diva moment, and I love that for him. He's doing great. And then we have Man Sam. It's like the return of the baby girl, but the hair grows out, and now he's like more of a man, and his features become a little less baby. He's just like a man now. Because he was like really like a man, like he could drink, like, you know, he was full grown. And then we have Jesus Sam. This is current Sam. He's got like facial hair and long hair, and people call him Jesus. So he does kind of represent the white version of Jesus. So I see it. Sorry guys, my nose is getting so stuffy from all this talking I'm doing. Ugh. Anyways, important Sam traits. He's often just being strange. He usually likes to torment his brothers. If it's not just him doing it himself, he'll usually team up with Josh and antagonize Jake. So, I mean, as typical younger brothers do, right? Yeah. He's often very casual and seems like to be very happy to meet the fans. And it seems like that a lot of people have good interactions with him. So he just seems like a really nice, down-to-earth, fun guy. So, go Sam. He's also barefoot, like, a lot. Him and Josh like to be barefoot. They like to feel the music on stage with their bare feet. I can't imagine, like, how hygienic that is. But, I mean, for the sake of the music, right? And then we have Daniel, a.k.a. Danny Robert Wagner. Daniel R. Wagner on Instagram. I don't know how to feel about Danny anymore, guys. He liked 2 of my Instagram posts, and now, like... Now what do I do? Hey, Danny, if you're listening, thanks. He's not listening. Nobody is listening. Anyways, Daniel plays drums and sometimes mandolin on B stage. He is not the youngest. I just effed up my presentation. He's actually older than Sam. His birthday is December 29th, 1998. He is 25 years old. So more information about him. He is the drummer, like I said, and on B stage he plays mandolin. He kills it. And in his free time he also plays guitar too. Cool. Danny is known for his gorgeous, luscious curls and being a very active and happy member of the band. It's just like cool. He is best friends with Sam, which is how he knew the Kiszkas growing up. And Danny just seems like an adventurous soul. He's often the one going on side quests, hanging out with friends, going to parties. He's just living his life. He's living his mid-20s. Go off, King. King, live your life. His alter ego is Chip Bunker, who is a golfer. Daniel also golfs in his free time, so it just makes sense that, like, his alter ego also golfs. This Ken's job is golf. And then we have Danny's eras. Like I said, the Bieber era made it to Danny too. It's just classic early 2010s, mid 2010s. I don't know. It's just a thing. It was a thing. And then we have Teen Danny, which is like him with long hair. It's usually straightened. There was like no curl routine in sight. It's just very like there. And then we get to Highlight Danny. I love Highlight Danny. He's just slay. Like he has these highlights and he's usually like outdoors during this period because I think it was around the pandemic, and he has just like these gorgeous bright highlights that light up when he's outside in the sun. I love it. And then Danny has his baby girl era too. Danny's baby girl era it's like his big glow up moment, right? He starts to get these beautifully bouncy curls. Like he finally figured out the curl routine. He got it. And he starts wearing like makeup on stage and he's kind of just like slaying all over the place. Like he's just doing it. Yeah, that's baby girl Danny. And then Bang Danny. I love Danny, bring back the bangs. The bangs rocked. I love them. Very 80s, very like Brian May. I love it. You should bring it back. Just saying. So it's Danny with shorter hair. He cut his hair and then he also cut bangs. And that's his bang. And then now people are categorizing him as like frat boy Danny. So this is like Starcatcher era Danny, but people call him like frat boy Danny because he's like really a man now. Like he's just like, whoo. Like if you look at the picture I'm putting up, he's like, whoo. Like he's strong, he's partying, he's having a fun time. He's getting tattoos. He's got 2 tattoos now. Inked king. Danny's just a king. Sorry, saying it. And then he's just got these perfect curls. He is slaying. Danny, peak right now. Keep doing what you're doing. Love it. All right, and then important things about Danny is we'd categorize him as like boyfriend material or like he's boyfriend behavior. Like usually on the TikToks, he's just like being very soft and silly and goofy or going through a corn maze. Like Daniel's very boyfriend. Not our boyfriends, but like he acts like how a boyfriend would act, you know? Anyways, he's just very kind. He's adventurous. And his like sense of humor is very mild compared to the Kiszkas. Like he's just very like slides his humor right in. Like it's not like right in your face, but it's there and it's funny and he does it. And it's good. He's just a cutie. Go off, Danny. All right, now here's an important aspect of the Greta community, and that is the lanes. So lanes are like which boy you're simping for, okay? Which boy are you like head over heels, like, or even just like I want to be his best friend, like I need to be in his lane, essentially. Like I'm driving in his lane, like I'm focusing on him. So that's what lanes are. If you can't decide on just one, there's hybrids, which I'm going to go over. And then there's also just being a 4-lane highway for them, which just means you love them all. And yeah, I get that. We should just all be 4-lane highways. My favorite one. Let's love them all. Anyways, so obviously there's the lanes for each individual boy, you know, Josh, Jake, Sam, Danny, like they all have their own lanes if you're just dedicated to one of them. But then we have the hybrids, okay? We got twin lane, which is Jake and Josh, because they're twins. But this is not to be confused with forbidden twin lane, okay? This is Sam and Jake, because a lot of people think they are twins, and they're not. They just have the same hairstyle for the most part. So, and they're brothers, so they do look alike. So, but we call it forbidden twin, okay? And then we have curly lane, which is Josh and Danny, because they both have curly hair. And then we have headache, which is Sam and Josh, because they're both loud, silly, and they might give you a headache. And then we have besties, which is Sam and Danny. And as I mentioned before, they are besties, so that makes sense that they're called bestie lane. And then Jake and Danny, I don't think they have like a designated fun name. It's just Janny, Janny, because it's Jake and Danny, Janny. I like it. It's simple. Right to the point. You got me. There's also Brothers Lane, which is like all three of the Kiszkas, which like at that point, why are you excluding Danny? Just be a 4-lane highway. Just for me. This is not sponsored, but Greta did a collab with the kombucha company. It's saving me right now. All right. Now we're at the start of it all. How did it happen? How did they get together? How did it even become a thing? How did they get onto a record label? Let me tell you. Actually, I can tell you. I'm going to show you some early photos of them just because, like, how cool are they? They're so young, but they, like, knew what they wanted to be from the start, which I think is, like, really cool. Like, they're just very 70s, very hip, very cool. I wish I had those outfits. Like, I want to be able to dress like that. I wish I could thrift clothes like that. But this is their original logo, as you can see. So this is the beginning. This is the early stages. I mean, I think those photos are from the 2015 years. They started doing unrepresented music around that time, which I'll get into. But so they're all still pretty young in those pictures. I mean, Jake and Josh are at least 19, I want to say, and Danny and Sam are still like 15, 16. So they're still teenagers at that point. But we're going to go way back to 2012. That's a long time ago. That's over a decade ago. The original band started in 2012 in Frankenmuth, Michigan, which is the Bavaria of the United States. It's like Christmas all year round. It's a very unique town. They said that they had a lot of festivals that would come in and out of there, so they got to like play for new audiences all the time, which is like kind of perfect luck that they ended up in a town like that. Kind of cool. Anyways, so the band started with Josh, Jake, Sam, and as well as Kyle. You might be wondering, who's Kyle? Well, it was another one of their friends who was the drummer before Danny. Kyle ended up making his way out of the band. I believe it was because that he wanted to be paid to practice, and that was like a no-go. But we don't want to completely throw Kyle under the bus, right? Because Kyle actually was one of his relatives that brought up a woman named Greta Van Fleet. And they were like, that's a cool name. We want that for our band. So they asked Gretna if they could use her name, and they just took out the N and became Greta Van Fleet. Crazy, right? Anyways, yeah, so just this local woman is the name of their band. And I don't think she expected it to get that big. There was like a news video where she was like, I was not expecting them to become a big band. I was like, sure, use my name. And now they're like huge. So that's awesome. So while Kyle was still a part of the band, they actually finished the song Highway Tune. And apparently the riff had been made as early as 2010. That's my contribution since UMG won't let me put the actual song in here. So enjoy. By 2013, Sam's good friend Daniel Wagner joined the band. He was a big fan of theirs and apparently had like practiced some of their stuff on his own, and then he got inducted into the group, and so cute. I love this. I love their beginning stages. It's so cute and wholesome. Anyways, Highway Tune was released as an unrepresented EP in 2014, but later, 3 years later actually, they were signed to a record label in 2017 with Lava Records. And then that was put on a represented EP for Black Smoke Rising. So they had a few songs on that, and that came out in April of 2017. And then later that year in November, their other EP, From the Fires, which I'm sure a lot more of us are familiar with, was released. So they toured after that. They toured with the Struts during 2017. So that was like kind of how they got their start being on tour. Now, if you want a fun time and just to like look at baby videos of them, not like actual baby, but they're young, you can go look at their crowdfunding video from their 2014 unreleased, unrepresented EP. And they're all just so young and like not media trained. So it's really cute and really wholesome. And you can really see all the Bieber hair in its perfect glory. All right, so we're jumping from the early stages into 2017 because that's really when things start to kick off, right? We get their first EP, Black Smoke Rising, in April, and that has a few songs that we all know pretty well at that point. It's Black Smoke Rising, Flower Power, Highway Tune, and Safari Song. So those 4 songs were on their first EP. It's not on streaming services because they released it again in another EP called From the Fires, which came out in November of that year with 4 other songs on it to make an 8-track EP. So we have those 4 songs that I mentioned before, but we also have A Change Is Gonna Come, which is a cover, Meet on the Ledge, also a cover, Edge of Darkness, and Talk on the Street, which are 2 new original songs. So they released this 8-track EP, and it kind of becomes a big deal. It hits number 36 on the Billboard 200 in 2017, hits number 4 on Billboard Rock in 2017, and it hit number 18 on Billboard Rock 100 in 2018. Not bad for a first EP. They also won Best Rock Album at the Grammys in 2018 for From the Fires. Awesome. They were also nominated in 3 other categories for Best New Artist, Best Performance, and Best Rock Song for Black Smoke Rising. Killing it, guys. Absolutely destroying the game within your first year of being on a label. That's awesome. So we already kind of stepped into 2018 with talking about that stuff. So we're going to go right into 2018 now. And this is the Anthem of the Peaceful Army era. The album isn't released until later that year, but there are some like steps leading up to it that are important. So in March of 2018, they actually perform with Elton John, which is like so cool. And Elton has like a little conversation with them and he's like, hey, you guys should dress like more flamboyant, like take it the next step. They're like, all right, which is like kind of how we see them now. Josh in his little jumpsuits and everybody else in like these fun outfits. So I don't know if that was a big influence, but thank you, Elton, if it was. Love Elton John. And then Greta makes their first TV debut in July for the Jimmy Fallon show, and they played their single When the Curtain Falls. So that's awesome. First TV performance. And they kill it. Go watch it if you haven't already. And then in October 19th to be exact, they released Anthem of the Peaceful Army. So they'd released 2 singles for that album, and that would be When the Curtain Falls and You're the One. And then they released the album. And then later on, they released a different version of one of their songs, Love or Leave Her, which is, it's different because it's Love or Leave Her, Take or Believe Her. I don't exactly know why they released it again with a different name. I think it is clearly different. I just don't know why they released it so much later after the album had already came out, but that's why like a lot of it That's why like a lot of the streaming services have that song on there. But if you have any of the vinyls and or CDs, the other version won't be on there. So there's a little tidbit for you. So the tracks from Anthem of the Peaceful Army, I hope these are in order. I might not have them in order. But it's Age of Man, The Cold Wind, When the Curtain Falls, Watching Over, Lover Leaver, You're the One, The New Day, Mountain of the Sun, Brave New World, Anthem, and Lover Leaver, Taker, Believer. Which, again, as I said, was added later, but I'm putting it in there as a track because it's on the streaming services. So they're really maintaining what they had with From the Fires by stepping into this really rock kind of 70s sound. But this would kind of stir up things. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Now, this is a direct quote from Sam about the album. It kind of dives into roots and beliefs. I think it also asks fairly large questions. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to our environment? What are we doing to each other? Why must there be hate? And why must there be greed and evil? I think it simply asks the questions of why can't we all be one? We're all people. We all look up at the same sky, breathing the same air. We all come from the same place. Sam, that's so deep. That's so deep. He's like maybe 19 years old here. That's so deep. That's crazy. You're so silly, Sam. So silly. Here's a little fun thing for you. Apparently, during the recordings, they went out to Tennessee to stay in a cabin, and they fully believed that it was haunted. And apparently, Jake would just go stand outside and get drunk and talk to spirits. Like, are you okay, Jake? Are you okay? Why are you talking to ghosts in the middle of the woods? Were they nice? Like, I'm interested to hear those conversations that he had, if he remembers them. I'd love to hear about that. Remember when I said that a lot of people didn't like that they were tuning into that 70s sound? I'm bringing up the elephant in the room, guys. I know you've heard it, if you've heard of Greta Van Fleet. I know somebody has tried to influence you not to like them because of this reason. So at this time, a lot of people are comparing Greta to another infamous band known as Led Zeppelin. Okay? A lot of people think that Josh's voice sounds like Robert Plant. Like he has any control over that. Okay. And then also, people just think that they're copying them, that they're a cover band for them. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't agree with this. Okay? I don't agree with it. Also, why are you complaining? Y'all are so quick to complain that there's no good music anymore and they don't make it like they used to. And then now, like, this one band is like, here, remember that music that you loved 50 years ago? We're bringing it back and we're bringing it into a modern age. And you're like, ew, no, gross, you're copying them. Get a life, honestly. If you agree with that opinion, get a life. Bye. Anyways, so we got to talk about the infamous Pitchfork review, okay? I'm going to read it to you guys. Greta Van Fleet sounds like they did weed exactly once, called the cops, and tried to record a Led Zeppelin album before they arrested themselves. The poor kids from Frankenmuth, Michigan don't even realize they're more of an algorithmic fever dream than an actual rock band. You know what I say to that? That's what I say. What happened after the release? This is important, okay? They hit number 1 on Billboard 200 in 2018. They also hit number 1 on Billboard Rock. Slaying the game, boys. And they hit certified gold, which means that they got 500,000 sales. Yeah! Killed it. Killed it with this one. F the haters, as they say. Now, you might be like, Zoe, I feel like you're forgetting an important, iconic moment. And no, I'm not, because it actually didn't happen until 2019, and we were still in 2018. Okay? Jeez. 2019, we get the iconic SNL performance, okay? And why is it iconic? You're just going to have to go watch for yourself. Specifically, the You're the One performance, okay? Everyone in the fandom, in some way or another, has been touched by this video. Whether it's the reason that they found Greta through this or that it's just a funny meme. You know it if you're in the fandom. You could do Josh's mannerisms. Like, it's just a thing, okay? So, In January of 2019, they performed Black Smoke Rising and You're the One. And it's just like the outfits, the performance, everything. It's iconic. Go watch it if you have not seen it already. So now we're going to get into the timelines a little bit for 2019. We have SNL at the beginning of the year. And then they announced that they're going on tour. And that is the March of the Peaceful Army tour. And it starts in January and it goes all the way until June. So they announced that they're going to do it a second leg after the first leg in September. And they're going to start it back up again. And this is where we get the iconic Red Rocks performance. That's when this performance actually took place. It was in 2019, September of 2019. And it's not going to get released until October of 2020. What? A whole year? Yeah, a whole year. Crazy. Speaking of 2020, let's just get into it because, something weird happened. I don't even know what it was, but like the whole world kind of shut down and like nobody could tour and like everybody had to be in their houses. Obviously, we had a pandemic. Everybody knows what happened in 2020. Can't even make jokes about it because it's like, yeah, we get it. The boys had to stop touring, obviously, because of the pandemic. So that's a super big letdown, but that didn't stop them from making music. The boys had already been preparing their sophomore album as early as 2019, but because of touring and the pandemic and everything, it just kind of got delayed. They moved to Nashville in 2020 and started the recording process for their new project. As a way to help fans that were missing the live performances, they released the Red Rocks video in October. It's kind of great if you miss, seeing live performances. It's great to see that era again, even though that new music is on its way at some point. So it's just really nice. And it is iconic in the fandom. If you're hanging out with a bunch of Gresties, you're putting on Red Rocks. Just how it goes. I do not make the rules. Just literally a week later after they released this Red Rocks video, they released their new single, My Way Soon. Mic drop moment, literally. It's their first single. They don't tell you the name of the next album yet, but they just give you little crumbs and they're like, here, run with this live performance and this new single and enjoy for a little bit. Okay. They wouldn't tell you the name actually until Age of Machine. Their second single was released in December. And then they announced that it's going to be The Battle at Garden's Gate. Oh, coolest name for an album ever. Coolest. Amazing. Heat Above is released in February of 2021, and Broken Bells is released a month later in March. The album was fully released on April 16th of 2021. And just a few months later, I found them and fell head over heels for their music. So we mentioned 2021 now. We're in 2021. The album's released April 16th. So let's get into what happened that year. They're back on tour. They're going back on tour and they're doing this special little tour. It's only 4 cities and they're calling it the Strange Horizons Tour. Ooh, mysterious. So these 4 cities that they chose were Bridgeport, Chicago, Nashville, and LA. So they did these 4 performances and they released live albums, limited edition live albums. It's crazy. Go look at the prices for those. Absolutely bonkers. But guys, fun little tidbit again. Here's my fun little tidbit again. If you have the chance to listen to any of these, if you have a friend who has the vinyl, or if you could find the audio files online, which definitely don't go looking for those, you can actually hear snippets of Sacred the Thread and other unreleased songs in between the other songs. It's unreal. It's unreal. They also release these candlelight sessions, which are like live in-studio performances of songs. And again, it's just another fun way for fans who maybe can't go to shows to hear live performances. So it's also just great to have a studio session of it instead of like having to listen to concert audio that your friend took, It's really nice. Here are the tracks from Tbagg as follows. I'm using my red vinyl. Okay. We have Heat Above, My Way Soon, Broken Bells, Built by Nations, Age of Machine, Tears of Rain, Stardust Chords, Light My Love, Caravel, The Barbarians, Trip the Light Fantastic, and The Weight of Dreams. So we'll read a little tidbit from Wikipedia because I am a scholar, as I told you. I'm studying for my Greta Masters. God, of course I use Wikipedia as a source. Early 2019 commentary from the band on the album noted that it would thematically have a more worldly feel than their prior work, inspired by the band seeing the world through touring. Additionally, they aimed to create an evolution of their sound after their prior album received a lot of commentary, both positive and negative, of being very similar to the work of others bands such as Led Zeppelin. Upon the reveal of the album's name, The Battle at Garden's Gate, in late 2020, they expanded on the themes, noting that it was definitely a biblical reference, but the album expanded well beyond that into the idea of ancient civilizations and parallel universes. The band explores the human experience and how religion and war affect it. The album was described as more dark, cinematic, and complicated than their prior album, seeing dark instances of poverty and famine while touring inspired its more dire sound. Deep, and mic drop. So, yeah, they're basically trying to tell a bigger story. If you want to hear more about our theories on that story, you can dive more into our podcast. We have a whole episode where we talk about the art and the meanings behind everything, so you could dive into that and why all these things are important. So, they're kind of just in their cryptic era. They're sending out postcards. They're sending out puzzle pieces to figure out what the My Way Soon single is. Like, it's crazy. They're making websites. They're doing all these cryptic things to kind of like lead fans on a hunt, which is, I think, just so cool, and they should bring that back. Anyways, so it's just a bigger acknowledgement that it's a story, that there's something deeper behind it than just the music, which is awesome. There's also a big thing with symbols in this album. If you look on the vinyl, if you look kind of anywhere where this album is located, it has symbols for each song. I have one permanently on my body. So all of these symbols have different meanings. A lot of them are from alchemy. A lot of them are from ancient civilization stuff. So it's definitely like really well thought out, okay? If you want to hear more about that, like I said, you can go to our previous episodes where it's all about the art. So go on and do that if you're interested in that. Speaking of the art, they have this awesome artwork on the inside of the gatefold for the vinyl, and I think it's in the CDs too. But like, hold on, I'm going to show you. Ready? Look at this. Look at the gate. It's beautiful. And not only that, right? They come up with variations for it too. Okay, ready? Watch this. Here's the red one. Cool, right? Here's the white one. And here's the black one. Spooky. And my favorite, the green one. Oh, isn't it so pretty? Yeah, so all of these have different variations, and it's very kind of alchemy based. It's very like different elements. It's really cool, and they play with elements a lot in their music. That's something that you should know. So it's very cool. I enjoyed this artwork. I enjoyed all the thought that was put behind this era. So they also released 3 music videos during this period. They released My Way Soon, Age of Machine, and Heat Above. There was supposed to be a music video for their other single, Broken Bells, but it just didn't work out. They weren't exactly happy with how it came out. If you want to hear the story on that, go watch episode 9. It's a good time. So those are the 3. They are very well thought out, very cinematic, especially Age of Machine and Heat Above. Just kind of tell a whole story. So go check those out. See if you can make theories of your own if you want to dive in and get started on the theory making. But there's also other live performances that are pretty big during this time. A fan favorite would be the Jimmy Kimmel Heat Above performance. It's just, they're like flawless. They're on their game. The lighting is absolutely stunning. It's a good watch. You should go watch it if you haven't already. So what happened after release? It hit number 1 on Billboard Rock in 2021, hit number 1 on Billboard Hard Rock in 2021. And the year-end chart for Billboard, it was at number 54. So not bad. And another great thing, as I mentioned before with Jake, it was voted the best guitar solo of 2022 because of their song, Weight of Dreams. Go Jake. Woo! Now this is a quick one. 2022, the year kind of flies by because they're on tour, okay? They start their tour in March, and it's called the Dreams in Gold Tour. Iconic. Oh my God, I would time travel to go back there immediately. So yeah, they're basically touring like most of the year. They stop and then they go overseas and then they keep extending, and it goes all the way. It's supposed to go all the way until December. during this tour, Jake gets very sick with pneumonia and they have to reschedule some shows. And like he gets sick. Like it's not good. Like it's scary. And everyone's like, oh God, like what is going on? But thankfully he gets better. And then we have another instance of somebody getting ill in the band. Somebody gets COVID. And then on top of that, Josh later in the year ruptures an eardrum at their Bangor Maine show. So there's just like a lot of rescheduling, and that pushes their tour from 2022 into the early months of 2023, with their last 3 shows being very important to their new era. So now we're in 2023, okay? It's still Dreams in Gold, so it still feels like 2021, 2022 era-esque, okay? We're not quite into the next era yet, but we're about to be, because at their last 3 shows in Anaheim, Reno, and Sacramento, they actually play 5 new tracks off of their album Starcatcher. Can you imagine being there and they're just like, oops, here's 5 songs. Do you guys like it? Are you guys excited? Ooh, look at us. Like, I would lose my goddamn mind. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so for the first time, they play Meeting the Master, The Falling Sky, Sacred the Thread, Indigo Streak, and Farewell for Now. Bangers. Absolute freaking bangers. Yeah, they just bust that out. And they're like, here you go. We're also going to drop a new album this year. Enjoy. Crazy. So everyone's like going wild. The only content we really have is like what other fans are posting. And we're like, holy shit. Losing our mind. So crazy. Then they start to post some like cryptic things with lyrics from Meeting the Master. They're doing like some videos, some promo stuff that they're posting behind the scenes for. And we're all like, what is this gearing up to? Why are they in the desert? What's going on? Anyways, on April 6th, they finally announce the name of the album publicly, Starcatcher. Coolest name. Cool name. Very simple, Starcatcher. It's just kind of like it, you know? And then the very next day, they released the audio version of Meeting the Master. What a day to meet the master. I remember when that song came out and I lost my damn mind. Lost it. And then they announced that they're going on tour again. They're like, hey, I know we just ended our tour in March, but what if we just kept going on tour? And we're all like, okay. And they're like, what if we start going on tour a week after our album comes out? And everyone's like, okay. So yeah. They announced that they're going to start in July, like a week after. I think it was actually only a few days after the album comes out, like the full thing. So they released 3 more songs, Sacred the Thread, The Falling Sky, and Farewell for Now. So those are the singles off of the album. And then on July 21st of 2023, Starcatcher is released. It was also the day of Barbenheimer, which was like, it was an eventful day. I just remember getting out of my midnight showing of Barbie. It was like 12:30 and I was like, oh God, like it's already been out. Like, oh, I got to listen to this right now. And I was sitting in the passenger seat, just like trying to absorb the music as hard as I could and just like taking it all in and being like, oh my God, I hope I like this as much as I liked the last album. I hope I already bought the tickets for the show. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. And it was. Why was I scared? It was awesome. It was great. I listened to it all the freaking time, of course. So here are the tracks off of Starcatcher. It's Fate of the Faithful, Waited All Your Life, The Falling Sky, Sacred the Thread, Runway Blues, Indigo Streak, Frozen Light, The Archer, Meeting the Master, and Farewell for Now. I have no idea if I'm saying those in the correct order, but that's just how I'm remembering them. Okay, so the important thing about them starting this tour, right? June of 2023, Josh comes out, and it's like big deal. There's a lot obviously going on in the state of our country with, you know, LGBTQ rights. So he decides now is the time where he needs to come out. And it is like, what? Like 8 years? What? And everyone's like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is awesome. Not crazy bad, crazy like, oh my God, girl. Like we're losing our minds because it's so adorable. So a few fans get together and they create what's known as the Light My Love Project. And this is kind of stuck throughout all of the tours on Starcatcher. So the Light My Love Project is when each section of a concert stadium is assigned a color. And when Light My Love comes on, these little pieces of paper, the colored pieces of paper, you hold it up to your flashlight and wave it around, and it creates a huge rainbow in the stadium. If you have not seen the video of Josh seeing that for the first time, you need to go find that and watch it and cry your little eyes out, because I cannot imagine the like weight being lifted off of that man of knowing like that his fans and his community like supported him. Oh my God. It's just like so amazing. Whoever thought of that, you deserve so much love and happiness for the rest of your life. You are a light. Thank you. Because that's now my favorite part of the show is just seeing the whole stadium light up. It's just so cool. I love it. Yeah. So anyways, the rest of the year it's just touring. And then in October, we actually get a 5-year anniversary of Anthem of the Peaceful Army, which is, it's just like remastered in Dolby Audio and you can only listen to it on like Amazon Prime Music. So it's like cool, but like I don't listen to that version every time. So it's like fun every now and again when you want to put on headphones and like really get into it. They also got on the Discord that night and like talked to a bunch of fans, which was super awesome. So that's cool. And then October 24th, they announced that they're adding more dates to the tour. Hold on. I'm just emptying my entire fucking bank account. Oh, wait. Oh, now we're also announcing another leg and more shows? What? You're going to London and doing the Royal Albert? You're coming to my state after I've been waiting this whole time for you guys to come back in this general direction, and now you're coming literally an hour away from my house? Okay. All right. I have no money left. Anyways, that was just a fun little joke. I'm fine. But, yeah, they just keep releasing more show dates, and they're really trying to include everybody, but they're also, like, saying it's a world tour, but they haven't gone to, like, Australia in 5 years. Oops. Maybe you guys should get on that. Anyways, so yeah, they announced that they're doing a second leg, and then they keep announcing more tour dates throughout the year as well. They're doing festivals and other things, so they just keep adding on, and this tour is going on for a long time. I don't think it's going to stop until like the end of August or September, which is crazy. So we'll get away from the tours actually and do some of the video stuff that they've done. They released a music video for Meeting the Master, which is just like stunning, perfect, tells a story. I love it. And then they have Falling Sky, which is like an in-studio one, which is still really cool. They have a lot of visual effects in it. I really enjoyed that one. And then they also have these visualizers, which like they aren't in. It's just like 10 seconds of a moving image repeating over and over again. So I guess it's like kind of implying like a feel or a look for something, which is cool. They also do the RCA Studio live sessions, which are fun. They do, I believe, all of the singles. So that's cool that they did that. And it's great. I wish they would put it on streaming services so I could listen to it all the time instead of having to go to YouTube, because that's not safe to do while you're driving. Don't do that. Don't do that. Definitely do not do that. So what happened after the release? Starcatcher hits number 8 on the Billboard 200 in 2023, and it's also nominated for Best Rock Album. They unfortunately did not win. Paramore won this past year, so good job, Paramore. Sorry, Greta Van Fleet. I wish we could have won. I wish that would have been a win, but you'll get them next time. Okay, guys, I'm going way over here. We're going way deep into this. We need to get into the lingo. You might have to do some research on your own with these videos, because I don't know if like I could put these up with the copyright sounds and stuff. So you'll have to look it up on your own. But I'll try my best to explain it. So we have permanent jewelry, which is said by Daniel, and it's him on his way to get permanent jewelry, and he's doing like this little run. He's like, permanent jewelry. It's iconic. I love it. It's so funny. Go watch it. And then we have do it, Jakey, which is Josh yelling at Jake to do it, aka play the solo. Jake's never not done it, so I don't know why Josh has to keep yelling at him to do it, but maybe the one time he doesn't say do it, Jakey, he won't do it. So thanks, Josh. And then we have Baha Bule, which is like Josh's thing. It's like cheers. Yay, Baja Bule. It's just like a very happy expression. So if you're taking a shot, Baja Bule. It's fun. Another thing is Jake says it's interesting all the freaking time. If you go listen to like any recent interviews with him, he's always like, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, I guess anything can be interesting. You are so right. It's just funny to me how he says it all the time. I wonder if it's like a nervous tick. Like, you know, I'm like, slay all the time, and that's just like a nervous tick for me. Maybe interesting is his nervous tick. Don't be nervous, Jake. You're so right. It is interesting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I made fun of you. All right, iconic. If you have not seen the Greta Van Fleet questions and concerns video, you need to go do that. That's like very important. It's like 40 minutes, and it's a live stream that they did where they're answering fans' questions and their concerns. It's so funny. Jake's in character the whole time. Josh is in some sort of weird character too. Danny and Sam were handcuffed to each other. It's just a time. But we get a lot of quotes from there. One of them being, Sammy, you're so baby, and for what? And I say it like that because Jake, aka Oliver Reed, says it in a very British accent. And yeah, that was a question that a fan asked. You're so baby, and for what? And then we have Get Back Here, Daniel, which is spoken by Sam, and he is chasing after Danny on an electric scooter. And it's from one of their TikToks. We also have Cleep, which is from the blooper reels of the masterclass videos. And it's Jake, aka Oliver Reed, and he's trying so hard to say the word keep. He keeps saying, Cleep your friends close. He says, Cleep your friends close, but your booze closer. And then we have I Play the Vocals, Sam. This is from an interview. Everyone's being asked what they play. So Josh says, I play the vocals. And Sam goes, well, that's not an instrument. And Josh goes, well, you all play something, so I play the vocals, Sam. Iconic. And then there's another video with just Jake and Josh. And they're just like both like kind of being goofy. Josh says, the instruments I play are sexual. Interesting, okay. And then they also describe their music as phantasmagorical in that one. So that's an important one. And then we have some Josh concert quotes. He says like a lot of the same things at concerts. So two of them would be smoke 'em if you got 'em and champagne caviar. So if you go to a concert, you're going to hear Josh probably say those two things. He also has other little quips and stuff. So I'm not going to tell you all of them. So you have to go to a show and find them out. Other ones, there's one where Jake says, yeah, poor thing, when he's talking about his guitar. Infisonicosm. This is a big one, guys. This is the universe in which their music takes place. Think of it as as in like infinite sonic music, sound, cosm, world, like infinite sound of the world. Big brain right there. So yeah, that's one. All right, then, and quick, because I'm way overdue on this time, guys. We have the outfits. We're going to dive into some iconic outfits and some outfits that you should be able to recognize. First one being Gold Pants Josh. We don't want them back, but we do, but we don't. Don't bring them back? Yeah, these pants just fit Josh a little too well. Anyways, and then we have Blue Star jumpsuit Josh. This is just a fan favorite. It's velvet. It's just very comfy. It looks like a nice cozy set of pajamas. I want to wear them. I want to clean my house in them. Like, I love it. And then we have Red Rocks Josh, which I mentioned before. Red Rocks Josh is just iconic. So the Red Rocks Josh outfit is obviously also iconic. And then we have Jake's Taurus suit. A lot of fans love this suit. It's just a pretty color. The embroidery colors are really pretty. It's just overall like a well done suit. And we have striped pants Jake, also known as Beetlejuice pants. I don't know. I guess he just looks good in stripes. What can we say? And then there's a Atocha coin suit. Jake loves these Atocha coins. He's wearing them like a lot. They're like Spanish coins from way back in the day. They're very piratey. If you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, it kind of looks like the Pieces of Eight from those movies. So again, I will not be taking any questions. This man is a pirate. Thank you. Sam outfits, the heat above Sam. He just like served. He served. He walked into the set that day and was like, oh, hey. Oh, you guys wanted me to play. I thought you said slay. Anyways, then we have Bird Suit Sam. It's just this iconic pink color. Like the sleeve and the suit connect to each other. It's very pretty. Like a little bird, he's gonna fly away. It's very cute. And then we have Red Pants Sam. He brought Red Pants back for Starcatcher, but in his own way. And then Danny. Danny wears these tank tops, where it's like cut down the side. Danny's are more like categories of clothes. They're not like specific outfits. Although Corset Danny is a specific outfit that I think is iconic. So that's in my slide. Sorry. And then Sweater Danny. Everybody loves a good Sweater Danny. I want to get one of Danny's sweaters, like one of the ones that looks like his. But every time I see the resale links, they're always gone or they're too expensive. So Danny, hit me up if you want to buy matching sweaters together so then we can just like, price control it. Let me know. I don't know him, by the way. I'm delusional. Don't know what else there is to say. Honorable mentions. These are my own choices, so these are my favorites. We have Dragon Jumpsuit Josh. I love this jumpsuit. I think it's just stunning. I love it. SNL Jacket Jake and Meeting the Master for both Danny and Sammy. I think they did that. All right, guys. I guess it's time to say farewell for now. I hope you had a very good time getting your feet wet into Greta Van Fleet. And if you've already had your feet soaked for a while, thanks for coming by and sticking with it. You might already have known a lot of these things, but I hope I was able to teach you something new. Yeah, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks. And we're going to have a very special episode because Lindsay and I are going to be together in person. And it's going to be crazy. And we're going to have special guests. And it's going to be kind of epic and awesome. And you should subscribe to the channel and hang out with us. Or you can go follow us on Instagram or TikTok. All of those things help. You can also leave a comment if you learned anything new. If you're just getting into the community and we helped you with anything, let us know. If there's any questions you have, also let us know that. All right, guys, we love you. We hope to see you again soon. We hope you stick around with us. And farewell for now.